Right guys, so as you know, for myself I had the problem with the autofocus with the 200 to 600mm on the A7R Mark IV. Been speaking to a couple of people. One person's had their camera back now and the focusing issue has been fixed. Doesn't know anything other than there was a sensor issue. So these are some of the shots I've taken with the A7R4 and the 200 to 600. There's a few birds in flight ones as well, but there were so many misses, it was unbelievable, and there was definitely an issue. So it turns out it's nothing to do with the lens by the sounds of it, it's down to the sensor. Obviously I'm not a camera engineer, and you know, it could be the actual sensor itself. There could be a batch of cameras out there. I'm just, you know, talking about this as in a possibility. Batch of cameras out there, including mine, that obviously has a sensor issue. It's not apparent on anything from wide angle up to 400mm. I've got the 14mm wide Samyang, everything through up to the 100 to 400 Sigma, and not had any issues at all. So there's something to do with once you get past that range, you know, sort of the 500-600 or even more, it seems to be an issue. We don't know if it just doesn't like that lens, you know, or is the sensor not quite aligned quite correctly, so it doesn't make the you know, it doesn't focus properly due to the sensor being slightly skew-if or something. Not really sure. But when it gets the shots beforehand, these are the shots I've taken of static images, absolutely bang on most of the time. Wasn't the problem with that. It seemed to be moving things, so birds, planes seem to be an issue. Not all the time, and you know, and you're shooting, you know, 1600 to 3200, maybe even 4000th of a second sometimes to get the shots, especially with a moving bird. And when I actually looked back at some of the focusing points on screen where it was actually hitting, it was miles away. It was like behind, you know, aiming. Not surprised it wasn't actually focusing on the actual subject as such. So I'm actually going to send my camera in at some point, possibly in January. I'm just going to get Christmas out of the way and all that sort of stuff, and get my camera looked at and actually repaired. It's under warranty, so anybody with a A7R4 out there, if you have got this issue with focusing using this lens in particular, you know, or do you have the same issue with the, say, the 150 to 600 Sigmas? You know, if you're adapting it, is there an issue with that? Yeah, something to think about. But when it gets the shots right, I mean, it's mega sharp, mega detail in there is amazing. Such a lovely lens. Its downside is obviously it's massive, and for me, I had to think about if I was going to take that lens or nothing else, or do I leave that lens at home and take other lenses instead. But like I say, once it works, it's one of those lenses where it's an absolute winner. Unfortunately, I've sold mine. I should have, in theory, just sent my camera in and the lens in to get repaired, and I'd probably been fine. But I am liking the Sigma 100 to 400 because it's compact, and now I can take multiple lenses in my bag with no real trouble, and that's working nicely for me. So yeah, but anybody out there who does have this combo still, or is thinking about buying this combo, is, we think, going by a couple of other people who've messaged me recently saying about their camera going in for repair and coming back hopefully soon, that hopefully there is a fix, and by the sounds of it, so far there is a sensor issue. So hopefully anybody who has sent their cameras in or is going to send their cameras in to be looked at, it will be dealt with. So I thought I'd put that out there quickly, just because some people, obviously not necessarily in certain Facebook groups or other, you know, media forms, that you might not actually get the information to possibly send it in. Like this shot here, you think, okay, that's pretty good, but actually when you look at it, it's pretty poor. A bird of prey here, and it's not that sharp. And I mean, I was still firing off at, I think it was about 2000th of a second, and they're quite slow flying birds. It was just cruising around in the sky. But then next shot, you get a big goosey duck thing come flying in. I'm shooting through the reeds, tracked it through the reeds from the right hand side moving left. It's coming in about 50 miles an hour, and it was absolutely fine. Onto a wren, no problem at all. So there's lots and lots of shots that were brilliant, super sharp and super clear, but I had thousands, and I'm talking thousands and thousands and thousands of shots that were either focusing in the wrong place, focusing just out of focus, completely missed focus points completely, stuff like that. So it was getting quite annoying, in fact. Sony didn't seem to acknowledge any issue other than send your camera in, and maybe I should have listened to that and just sent it in, because it may have been fixed. So possibly my fault in that part, listening to them. They obviously know there was an issue of some sort, but obviously maybe they haven't discovered it until now, so I don't know. Anyway, I just thought I'd put that out there, guys, and hopefully anybody who has got an issue and you've got your camera still under warranty purposes, get it in before the warranty runs out and get it checked at least, if you are having any doubts in your mind that this focusing isn't quite as good as it should be, and go from there. So I hope that helps. Anyway, don't forget to click the subscribe button, little notification bell as well, and check out my other videos, and I shall see you soon.